Welcome to my white world. This is again, I am a singer, Eternal Voice. Okay, this is gonna be not a very lengthy live streaming. I can promise you guys this will be just short to average period of live stream. So actually, I love to do this because it's not really on my strength. I love to challenge myself on vlogging topics that are not really under my strength and that are not under really to my expertise. Okay, something like that. So I want to expand and I want really to to make myself as a challenge to do some topics which I am not familiar with because it challenge myself to read, research, explore, and also it teaches me to study more in relation and in link with my profession as a licensed chemical engineer, and also in relation also to my experience of being a occupational safety health professional, something like that. So it's in there. There's a challenge for me. Okay. So in the very first place, as I told you a while ago, I am very consistent to this that I love really English subject at the same time science subject. Okay, and we know that in the first place, if we talked about science, it's very broad. There's a lot of sciences around us, right? For example, earth science. Okay, we have also the astronomy, the nuclear chemistry. Okay, the environmental chemistry, the clinical chemistry, the quantitative chemistry, the qualitative chemistry, the organic chemistry, the physical chemistry. Also, there's a lot, right? The also thermodynamics is under science also, and then we have also the forensic science, the geology, the metallurgy, and also mining engineering is an example also for science, right? And then we have also the biochemical engineering, okay? The summation, the relationship between biological engineering and chemical engineering also. And we have also biochemistry, the combination of biology and chemistry, right? And we have also the pharmacy, okay, pharmacy. Pharmacy. It involves also a lot of chemistry, okay? The medical technology, okay, involves also a lot of chemistry in their laboratory testing, in the blood samples, in the urine samples, but it's more related on medical points of view, right? Or medical testing technology, something. Okay, I love, right? So many about science. We have also the what I love the most is really the physics also. Physics. Okay, it's a branch of science that deals with the study of matter and energy. Right? That's the definition of physics as far as I could remember. It talks about the interrelationship of the energy, the potential energy, and the kinetic energy, something like that. It's more like that on physics. Okay, the motion, something like that. Okay, it's more like that in the physics. That's why it is a branch of science that deals with the study of matter and energy. So when we speak of matter, we have three phases of matter, of solid, liquid, and gas. Then it's more on chemistry. So we need to say we need to learn also important aspects of chemistry in relation to energy. And there are a lot of energies, right? You have the chemical energy, the light energy, the electrical energy, oh, right? So a lot of energy to be considered also. A lot of energies, okay? Like that. Okay, kinetic energy. Okay, so that's it. So at this point in time, I really choose. I love really protein. Oh my gosh. Oh, Sotero, why you like protein? Because it's really a challenging topic for me. Yes, because if it involves a chemical formula, then that's the time I interest the most, especially involving chemical reactions, the physical and the chemical behavior of that particular substance. Could it be macromolecules or micromolecules, or could it be biological substances, chemical substances, or whatever in combination to that, something like that. Okay, so we know that protein, okay? So protein, okay, so let's review what's really protein is. Okay, talking about protein, protein is a combination of an amino group plus the carboxylic group, functional group, plus the amino acid and the regular carbon to hydrogen chain, something like on the center. And then we have the side chain will be added to the center in the carbonyl group. You know carbonyl group from the word alone, carbon atom, right? So we will be attaching a specific amino acid. As far as we could remember, we have 21 amino acids, right? I discussed that already in my previous vloggings. We have a lot. Okay, we have the glycine, we have that. Okay, too much amino acid. I don't have to discuss that now on. But there's a lot, sure. Okay, now we need to focus on protein. So let's give the general formula for that first, because this is very important to understand first the molecular structure before going to the further, information, relevant information regarding protein. Okay, protein. What do you mean by protein? Keratin is also a type of protein. Okay, carnitine, like that. It always ends with Ne. Okay, like that. So lectin is also a protein. Okay, lectin, Lectin, and that's our topic at this moment in time. Lectin. Oh my gosh, lectin. I will write Lectin. Okay, like that. I don't talk about actually amino acids are closely related to protein because it will not become a protein or it will not undergo a protein synthesis without the attachment and the reaction of the specific amino acids, as I told you a while ago in the center of the carbonyl atom group, right? Something like that. So it's really confusing between amino acids and protein. The term INE at the last. Okay, for example, glutamine. Glutamine is not a protein; it's an amino acid. Okay, but lectin is a protein. The end sound and the last words of the term, it's much closer to each other. Okay, and take note, there is also closer to that the hormone. You know hormone, the sending messages to the brain so that we can act. Our organs will need this, will need that, like that. So that's hormone, right? Okay. And then secreted in the endocrine gland, if you can remember that one. Ends also with an E. For example, serotonin, okay, melatonin, adrenaline. So there's a lot of hormones. Sometimes you will be confused which is really a hormone, which is really an amino acid, and which is really a protein. Okay? So it's not enough to memorize. We need to understand the structure really of those substances. Okay, so we need to determine the physical characteristic and the physical behavior of how they behave if you try to put that in a reaction. Okay, something like that, and it matters a lot. So that you can understand, you have to break down that into a chemical reaction. It's not enough to memorize. Sometimes you will mix up really. Okay, it's very confusing sometimes. Really, we have also the caffeine. Caffeine, what is that? Amino acid, protein, or hormone? See, so it's not easy to predict, right? So you should do the formula for that so you can predict something like. If you try to attach it with a protein formula, okay, like that, blah blah blah, so and so. Okay, now let's go back to the lectin, which is our main topic at this point in time. So is this familiar to you, lectin? Okay, okay, I found interest for this topic really. Okay, lectin. Oh my gosh, what's really lectin is? Oh my gosh. So in my previous live stream, talking more on the vitamins like this, the minerals, the nutrients, the antioxidants. Okay, the antiviral agents. Okay, the polyphenol like that, the flavonoid. The major component of a vaccine, something like that. Okay, and a lot of vitamin A, B, C, D, K, blah, 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 so and so. Hormones, antibodies, Okay, the white blood cells and the red blood cells, like that, blah, blah, blah. Or I mean, it is a physiological reaction inside our internal body system. Now it's a little bit different because this is more on the gut, gut. Okay, gut. So when we mean of gut, gut, as in gota, it's not jar. Gut, gut. The gut composed of a small intestine and a large intestine. Okay, so meaning to say this is talking about on digestive health or the gut health. If we mean gut health, it is automatically equal to the digestive health. And we are referring to the small intestine and the large intestine. Okay, now if we're talking for these intestines, we are also very, very aware to the cell membrane. Okay, the cell membrane of this intestines, how it could control the substances that will go there or the substances that will go out there. So why is like this? So meaning to say our cell membrane is really flexible. You know, flexible meaning very undergoing the process of fluidity. Meaning to say it will be stretched, it will compressed, it will elongate. Meaning to say just like a rubber band. It's just having an elasticity limit. Okay, or elasticity, physical property of elasticity or elongation. That could be meaning literally it's just the same, right? I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, that's why when we feel so busog, when our stomach are full, so you know our tummy will be extended, our stomach will be extended. That's the time our cell membrane are being stretched a little bit higher compared to its original length. Because our intestines have original length. Then if it will be elongated and it will be stretched when we are full of food and drinks. Okay? So very flexible. Okay, and now we need to take care for that. Because sometimes if you will not take care for that, it will be break. Okay, because that's very flexible and it's a very thin. Okay, composed of a very thin billions of cells that composed of our outer cell membrane of our intestines, something like that. So a billion of cells, and we need to protect that one. What are the requirements for that? Is very, very essential for this discussion. Okay, let's go directly to the main point. In this topic, we need to avoid digestive related diseases. Digestive related diseases and eventually chronic related diseases to the gut health or the digestive health, which is really the colon cancer. Okay, we need to prevent that one. So it starts with a very minor inflammation with your cell membrane. If you feel pain on your abdominal pain, then if that pain is not really that, vanishing and still persist for a long period of time, that could something, try to have an idea that it's gonna be an initial stage for that chronic disease known as a colon cancer. But let's pray to God it will never be happen because there's a lot of stages for that before it will reach to the critical point, which is the colon cancer. And now we need to discover really what are the foods and drinks to be eaten in order we can maintain the integrity, the fluidity of our cell membrane of our gut, which are the small intestine and the large intestine. And this time lectin as a protein plays an important role how to protect the integrity, the reliability, okay, the rigidity, the strength of our gut. G-U-T. Now, lectin. Okay, I'll still have to get my pencil pen. Before proceeding to our discussion, that would be my introduction for this topic, lectin. Charot. Okay. Oh my gosh, who's my pencil pen? Wait for a while. Excuse me for a while. Okay. Lectin. So it looks like unfamiliar to me, so I love it. Okay. Okay. So that it will not be boring all the time to keep on repeating the topics, right? Okay. So there would be new topics, and let's investigate. Let's go deeper and connect that with our, basic knowledge also with regard to science. Okay, like this. Okay, gosh, where's my pen? Already finished. Hello, guys. Lectin. Oh my gosh. Okay, I refer to Dr. Grandi as one of my sources on this discussion. And I read also some points in the Wikipedia in my research, and also see also some pictorials, illustrations in the websites. Also, I forgot the source of that website, and I'll try to to understand what's really the mechanics for this lectin, what is the behavior of this lectin, something like that, and how important it is, something like that. Okay, so I must write first lectin, Lectin. It is a type of a protein. So you have now a clue. If lectins are Sotero, that is protein. Yes. Same as keratin, the protein needed for our growth of our hair, the growth of our nails, something like that. Okay, that's why fungi will be there. You know fungi, bacteria, like this in your skin. They will eat your skin if you have lack of keratin. Okay, because they need keratin as their food to survive. That's why you have skin disorders, buni, ringworm, had like this, because you are lack of keratin. If you have enough level of keratin, then this will not be happening because it's enough for your bacteria, okay, and your microbiome or whatever, they will eat that enough for them. So they will eat, and there's no more keratin level in your body. That's why you feel itchy. Okay? They crave for more keratin protein. That's the reason you will feel dermatitis, itchy skin like that, because the protein needed there is the keratin. Okay? Kerati. The same with the hair. If you're very bald now, you are lack of keratin protein. That's why some shampoo have a formulation addition of keratin so that you will develop more hair. Okay, because as we grow older, our level of keratin will be depreciating. Okay, the same as there will be a drop of collagen protein. In general, this keratin protein also will be reduced, or there will be a reduction of keratin level. That's why you are bald, BLD, you have no more hair, and your hair will just drops like this. And then you buy a shampoo that have a formulation of too much keratin. The same thing with lectin. Lectin is also a protein. But take note, this is a bad protein that we should take care in order we can prevent colon cancer or any type of abdominal pain. So I want to share you something for this also. Okay. Okay, but before that, I must illustrate the general formula of protein because this is one type of protein, right? Okay, like this. Okay, charot. Ganon. Ganon talaga. Okay. How many electrons in the outermost shell of the nitrogen? I discuss first the structure. Later na yung mga charot. Okay. I forgot. Okay. Something like that. Nitrogen, I think there are two types in the outermost shell. There are 3 electrons in the outermost shell. There are also 5, right? 5 electrons in the outermost shell. But the most common one is the 3 electrons in the outermost shell, right? 2, right? Something like that. I think so. There are P3 and P5 for phosphor. No, sorry, N3 and N5. Just same character with phosphorus. Okay, nitrogen and phosphorus. I think so. There are 3 atoms in the outermost shell and also 5 atoms in the outermost shell too. Okay, how can we say that? Okay, later we will explore that one. Okay, something like that. My gosh. Ganon. Okay. See, this is the, okay, this is the general formula of a protein, right? So, this one. Okay, in the protein, there will be no ammonia. Ha? Okay, take note, there will be no ammonia. Ammonia is only in the urine. Okay, the level of ammonia is in the urine. NH3. Okay, don't be confused to add more single bonded nitrogen here because this is only NH2. The amino group will be added to the this one, carbon chain, carbon and hydrogen chain plus the side chain reaction of an amino acid. The R here is a specific amino acid to be attached and we don't know yet. Okay, because this is protein synthesis. Synthesis meaning a reaction of different substances to produce one single compound of a protein. Protein is a compound because it involves elemental components in it. There's a there's hydrogen, there's carbon, and there's hydroxyl, something like that. Okay, so a lot of elements combination. Okay, so this is the COOH, the double band oxygen here. This is carboxylic functional group. Okay, in the center we will call this a carbonyl group, in which the specific amino acids R will be attached. Okay, and then here's the amino group. Don't be confused. This is not ammonia, huh? Because in the first place, the 3 electrons of the outermost shell of the nitrogen is only 3, right? So 1, 2, 3, and there's no 4. So if you add H here, if you will force, is an example only, because you are used to NH3 in organic chemistry. I know that. NH3 is very familiar in organic chemistry, okay, such as the Haber process. You remember that reaction in producing fertilizers at a particular catalyst. I forgot the catalyst, but it will produce a production of fertilizers. Okay, something like that. That's we call the Haber process. N2 plus H2 is equals to ammonia. But forget that one here. It will not be applied here. Here is only the amino group. Okay, and this is organic chemistry. Okay, biochemical or biochemistry. Okay, so forget first the ammonia thing. So this is NH2 only. So meaning amino group. Amino group, carboxylic group, and a specific amino acid group. Okay, so this is the protein. So it's called synthesis. Okay, like that. So this is a protein. Now we have the specific example is the lectin. Okay. It's not part on my research. Okay, what is really the specific amino acid to be attached to become a lectin? Okay, I did not go to that detail because I keep on researching. I found it very difficult. I almost consume my time to that. Maybe this is not really a common topic, I know. Because I refer the, Dr. Grandi, I refer his, source. And then he doesn't specify really what specific amino acid to be attached in this protein general formula to be called as lectin, because as we said earlier, technically lectin is a type of protein, right? And take note, this will be more complicated because lectin is a type of a protein that will bind to sugar. Oh my goodness. Aside from the protein, it will bind also to sugar. Oh my gosh, how complicated is this lectin really is? Okay, as we can remember, we have a lot of sugars. We have 2 types of sugars. We have the aldoses sugars and the ketosis sugars. The aldoses sugars composed of the glycerol. Okay, we have the galactose and the glucose. And we have the ketosis sugars, we have the dihydroxyacetone, we have the ribulose and the fructose. And another additional for the aldoses, I forgot, also the ribose, which is the important component of the DNA and RNA, nucleic acid sequencing in coded genetic information and instruction of any individual. Okay, that is ribosome. No need to discuss the formula because I've lagged that a while ago. That's all about macronutrients. So these sugars really will try to bind with this lectin. Oh my gosh, how complicated it is. Okay? This is one. That's why I think there's no specific formula for this, because this will bind to sugar plus the protein. It will be more complex to illustrate or to discuss to anybody else. But I think so have really. All you have to do is to research more and explore and attach to this general formula of a protein, something like that. Oh my goodness. This is lectin. Lectin is a type of a protein that will bind to sugar. The sugar could either be aldoses or ketosis. Okay. Now, as the number of lectin as a type of protein will increase, it reduces our body's ability to absorb the nutrients. So this is really a bad protein. Oh my gosh. It's really sad. Oh my gosh. Because this is a bad protein, right? As we know, a while ago that all proteins are good, right? Because it gives us energy, it will produce a DNA production in protein synthesis, whatever, or it will produce steroid hormones like this and produces acids that is very essential for the digestion of foods like that. But this lectin is really a negative one, minus a very bad protein. Okay, the more we have lectin levels, okay, very high, okay, then it reduces our body's ability to absorb nutrients. So what we will do to this lectin? We need to expel this from our body or in our internal physiological reaction to improve and to maintain our healthy lifestyle. Something like that, okay? Because this is anti-nutrients pala siya. Okay, anti-nutrients. Oh my goodness. Anti-nutrients. Okay, di ba? Interesting, anti-nutrients siya. We know that our blood will transport oxygen and nutrients, right? It will transport to the heart, to the brain, like that. And this lectin also, if he will go together with the blood, something like that, it troubles us. Okay, and we will not become healthy. So we will try to remove this lectin, and the only way to remove that is not through natural reaction or natural process. The only way to remove that is through self-discipline. Oh my gosh, self-discipline. So now we need to understand that this lectin also technical. This is more having a substance called oh my gosh, phytohaemagglutunin. Oh my gosh. Haemagglutunin. Very difficult, right? Phytohaemagglutunin. Oh my gosh, really. This substance coming from lectin will really, cause our red blood cells to clog and clump together. So what will happen if our red blood cells will not function properly? So there will be no proper circulation of our blood flow in our different organs in our health system or immune system, right? So this is very bad, okay? Like that. So what are the solutions? The first thing to do also is we need to discuss what are the foods that are very, very popular that we keep on eating these foods, it will increase the level of lectin. Oh my God, sorry for that. Dagan kayo ego ani. Usan ako. Okay, so, okay, lectin foods. Okay, charot eh. And sometimes I get confused really, but let's just do this in a smooth explanation. Okay, like this. Anyway, there's a gray area also somewhere in the discussion, because there's a discussion that will sometimes it doesn't meet, but you have to be logical enough why. That's why we are here to present this idea in order to share information to all of you, and we share information with each other. Okay, we learn something from this also. Okay, sharing and interactive through virtual discussion. Okay, something like this. Okay, so foods that are rich in lectin. So Sotero, why we need to enumerate? We need to enumerate because these are the food that it will eat this too much in overconsumption and in a very, very frequent manner, then it can cause a leaky gut. Leaky gut meaning our gut, small intestine and large intestine, in the future, it will, break And after it will break, it will produce inflammation like a wound. And after that, there will be no cure and treatment. It will cause a colon cancer. So that's why we need to discover what those foods are, and we need to eat this in a moderate manner. Shall we say, administer this kind of food in our system in an adequate, not overconsumption. So lectin foods are, okay, my gosh. Okay, remember if the examination will say blank is a protein, a lectin, melatonin, adrenaline, serotonin. Your answer is lectin because lectin is a protein. This is not a hormone. Okay, sometimes you will be confused also with the INN in the last. Okay, phenylalanine, like that. Okay, glutamine. Okay, a lot, right? Glycerin, something like that. Okay, lecithin, a lot of amino acids, as I told you a while ago, 21 amino acids inside our body. They are cooperating with each other to have a protein synthesis so that it will give us an energy to survive in this contemporary world, being a healthy individual. Something like, okay, lectin foods. Number one, we need to control the eating of tomato. Oh my gosh. Now, let's try to evaluate the health benefits of tomato. Okay, tomato. If you keep on eating tomato, this can cause high level of lectin. And lectin is an antinutrient. What will happen? It will disrupt the other nutrients in the food you eat. Okay? Now, you can still eat this tomato, but not overconsumption. Or, eat this tomato by, swallowing properly, digesting properly in your teeth, like this. Okay, do not swallow that without digesting too much, very good in your teeth. Grind it properly before it will reach to your stomach, because it can cause also the breaking of the inner layer, the thin inner layer of your cell membrane of your gut, the intestine. Okay? It's very thick and hard, the tomato. I cannot show you, I have the tomato here. You have to properly digest that one before swallowing. Okay? That's the second option. First, eat only, not infrequent, only in moderation, not overconsumption. Number two, digest well, okay, the tomato. Remove the seed of the tomato. There's a fluid seed in the center. Remove that one because that's not having a nutrient. Okay, it can cause only appendicitis in your appendix. It will go there and you will cause appendicitis. And again, another problem. You will undergo a physical operation in your rectum. Appendicitis, or the appendix will be cut. If that, seed will go there. Okay? That's number two. Number three, cook properly the tomato. Okay, because this lectin protein will be having more level of this if you keep eating in a raw condition. Raw, meaning to say undercooked. Okay, you should cook properly to eliminate the lectin level for this. We need to cook properly. So in contrary also with the more you will cook, the more the nutrients will be low. Sometimes you'll be confused, what do we need to do? Okay, because if you eat that in a raw state of food, then there's more nutrients compared to cooking that one, because it will just evaporate the other nutrients by having too much heat. But in here, lectin, we need to cook properly so that the lectin level will be lower enough. Okay? Like that. And remember also, tomato has a lycopene. You know, lycopene is a protein that is essential as an antiviral agent. So imagine, the more you eat tomato, the more the virus cannot go there, because it is having an antiviral agent property, which we call as lycopene. Imagine. So this is also effective for tomato. Then it's telling that we don't eat too much tomato also. So you'll be confused, okay? Something like that. Okay, and another thing also, if you eat too much tomato, you will increase your vitamin A, okay, which is the carotenoid. Okay, beta-carotenoid, vitamin A. So meaning to say, the more you eat tomato, the more having you a clear eyesight, a clear vision. But in this topic, It tells us not to eat more tomato because the lectin is an anti-nutrient and can cause leaky gut. And if you will not do in a moderation of intake this tomato, it can cause a colon cancer. Okay. Number 2, potato. Oh my gosh. I love potato also. Okay. Potato is an energy-giving food. Same value as the white rice, the brown rice, or a bread. It gives us energy, carbohydrates also. But it tells us also to reduce the level of lectin, we need to reduce the frequent intake of potato. It doesn't mean we don't intake any more potato, but we need to eat in moderation or something like that, not frequent. Okay, because the more you eat potato, the more it has lectin level, and the more it will produce anti-nutrients, then it will clog your red blood cells. Imagine, red blood cells are very important for us. Okay, for you know what I mean. I discussed already in the previous vlogs to keep us healthy. Okay, like that. Number 3, charot oy. Kani siya mo agree jud ko. So number 3, eggplant. Okay. It was noted a long, long time ago, according to my parents, my grandmother, my grandfather, they are telling that the eggplant has no nutrient. Now, since I am a kid, okay, I believe that also. Until such time when I graduated in my high school, I think so. High school or elementary. I really researched in the book. Okay, why they said that this eggplant have no nutrients? And then when I searched that there in the library, there's a nutrient of eggplant. Really, the nutrient of an eggplant will be there if you will undercooked or raw, RAW. The more you will not cook that, the more there's a nutrients naturally in that eggplant. So we need to say our grandparents, our mother, our ancestors, or old generation are not telling the truth. Okay, because there's really a nutrient for this eggplant, okay? But I think the level is not high, but there's still a nutrient for that based on my research, okay? Because I really read that also, okay? So, eggplant also, you're increasing your lectin level if you eat more of a lectin. But I love eggplant also when you mix that to the egg. Yes, really. Okay, what will I do now? Charot! Number 4. Okay, avoid legume. Legume of food. What are those legume food? That's our peanut. Peanut. And they said also peanut is good for the brain, right? And peanut also is an unsaturated fatty acid, which is good for the heart. Something because the level of fat is only less. There's a fat, but it's not very high. Okay, and that's very good also for lowering the cholesterol level, something like that. But in here, the peanut or the legume is not advisable to eat that in overconsumption because it will increase your lectin. Okay, something like that. Okay, legume, the peanuts. Okay, what else? The almonds. Okay, like this. But it's stated there in my source that the pistachio and the cashew are good. Okay, but these peanuts and almonds only are being, controlled. Okay, there's no problem with cashew. Cashew, CASHEW, and the pistachio, PISTACH. Nuts. Okay, you can see this in the store or in the market. Okay, only the peanuts and the almonds like this, and not even the hazelnuts are being discussed. Only the peanuts and the almonds, a part of the legume, something like that. Okay? Number 5. Okay, charot. We have the high fiber. Okay? High fiber food meaning the oats, the wheat, the grain. Okay? Like this. Okay. High fiber, the oats, the wheat, the grain, something like that. Dietary fiber. Okay, those foods that have a high dietary fiber. Okay, for example, this oats, wheat, the grain, something like that. So, the more you eat this, the more it will increase your lectin. So, just eat in moderation, not in frequent or not in a very high level. or overconsumption. Okay, because this lectin is an anti-nutrients. Okay, it will affect and destroy your red blood cells, and red blood cells are very important for us. Okay, something like that. The beans also. Okay, beans, the peas, the green peas. Okay, okay, peas, the beans. Okay, no, the undercooked beans, the raw beans are not good, and also the peas, because it has a phytohaemagglutunin characteristic, as I discussed a while ago. Then it will clog your red blood cells. Okay, this is just only an example, but there's a lot. Okay, so the more you eat this food, the more you will feel abdominal pain if you will eat this in excess. Okay, then try to digest first in your mouth before swallowing, going to your intestines. That's the best solution. Or as much as you could, you will try to cook this properly, because the more it is being heated up to a certain temperature, the lectin level will be lower. So the anti-nutrients will be lower. Because this lectin is anti-nutrients, these 1 to 6 foods have nutrients. This lectin will just absorb the nutrients from these foods. So it's just totally useless, right? If lectin will absorb the nutrients. That's why sometimes we found also some people are really conscious with the health, but then they don't look very healthy. I think this is also a reason, because the lectin is very high. Okay, and then sometimes also why that guy or that woman are having that kind of disease. I remember one celebrity in the Philippines, Miss Rio Diaz. Okay, Rio Diaz. If you look at her, she's very pretty. She's very healthy, but she died on colon cancer. Okay, something like that. You cannot just judge. Maybe the intake of the food had too much lectin. Okay, something. Because this lectin really, the first symptoms is the abdominal pain. Okay, discomfort. Gastrointestinal discomfort. Okay, or the abdominal pain. And the gas spasm. Okay, SPASM, meaning there's bloating in your stomach, something like that. And then you will try to experience the pain, and then budding. It will become the initial stage of a leaky gut. Leaky meaning L-E-A-K. There's a leak, but there's not a full leak, only a small leak, but there's like leaky only. But if it will not be treated and cured, it will really a cause for colon cancer. Okay, like that. Okay, but the major cause of a colon cancer is eating a very hard skin food. And then you will not try to, filter that very well before eating. For example, the crab, the lobster, okay? Hard skin food, okay? A lot, right? Then the shell also of the egg. Be careful when you break the egg. Sometimes it will mix also to the, to the yellow one and the oil one. And then if you cook, it will go to your esophagus, and then it will also, go to your intestine. Be careful. That's also causing, abdominal pain. Okay? Those are the really initial stages to cause a chronic disease known as a colon cancer. It all starts with a leaky gut. Okay? Something like that. So this is the foods to be avoided. Okay? Ganon. So now let's go to the solution. Okay, the solution is very clear, right? Eat the right amount of these foods, not in excess. Number 2, just cook properly these foods, something like that. Okay? Okay, because we cannot, we cannot stop the chemical reaction inside our body. It's not our business. That's their business. The organs and the chemical substances. We cannot prevent them from doing their job there. All you have to do is to adjust the level of the intake. That's all we can do as part of our self-discipline, because this specific type of protein will do their function as their behavior, as their function there, right? You cannot alter their behavior, we cannot modify their behavior inside our physiological reaction, inside our body to have and to improve our health immune system, right? Something like that. Okay. Now, what are the foods to be eaten to have, to lower the lectin? So this is not the good one. Okay, to minimize the lectin level. Okay. We need to eat, oh my God, avocado. Oh my gosh. I cannot find avocado here. Okay, because avocado is a very good fruit because it contains antioxidant to protect our cells from any viruses, any bacteria, and then this could also help a lot in sleeping to prevent insomnia. The more you will eat avocado, the more you can sleep early also. Something like that. Because the level of your melatonin, okay, will be increased. Because if you cannot sleep properly, then you have a lower level of melatonin hormone. That's why you cannot sleep properly. Or your caffeine level is very high, that it keeps you always awake. And you drink coffee somewhere 10 o'clock in the evening, 10 o'clock in the evening. How can you sleep properly? Like that caffeine is very, it's a stimulant, central nervous system stimulant. It helps you active every time. Okay, something like it helps you to become energetic like that. Okay, so that's why most of the medicines contains caffeine also for to remove the dizziness, to remove the migraines or whatever. Okay, like that. So this avocado, but I don't see avocado here. Oh my gosh, avocado come to me. Charot. Okay, number 2, strawberry. Oh my gosh, mga lisod yung kayo eh. Strawberry. So we need to eat a lot of strawberry, aside that it contains an antioxidant also, or vitamin C, right? Or it contains also lycopene, something like this, okay? Strawberry is a good source of vitamin C also. It's also lowering the level of your lectin. Meaning to say, those negative nutrients or anti-nutrients will be lowering. So the more your nutrients will be circulated properly in your organs if you have a high intake of strawberry. But strawberry is very, rare. Also, my goodness, why like this? Rare, meaning not common every time, okay? And aside from that, strawberry also is very expensive, okay? Number 3, okay, cauliflower. Okay, it's just okay. We have a lot of cauliflower in the market, okay? You need to eat more cauliflower, okay? So that we can decrease the level of lectin. Because most of the time we have more lectin in our body because all people eat rice, right? Eat kabush, eat bread, dili alatul. Okay, there's no people that doesn't eat rice, only the people that have their diet. Those who have ketogenic diet or those who have weight loss program, workout. But other than that, normally, majority of the people will eat rice. Okay, then rice have a greater source of lectin. Meaning to say, the more you eat rice, the more your nutrients will not function properly. Based on the technical definition of lectin, the more lectin level as a type of protein, it will reduce your body's ability to absorb nutrients, and it will clog your red blood cells due to the substance known as the phytohaemagglutunin. So that's why it's not really advisable to eat more rice. Okay, whether it could be a white rice or a brown rice. This really an evidence also, aside from the hyperglycemia, type 2 diabetes, obesity, overweight, cardiovascular disease, aside from that, heart attack, whatever. So also not advisable because of this lectin. Okay, for example, if the examination will say, give me an example of an anti-nutrient, your answer will be lectin. Okay, don't forget the term lectin. Lectin, bow. Ganon. Okay. Number 4, cabbage. Oh my gosh, we need to eat a cabbage. Fruit, right? Green leafy vegetables, cabbage. Okay. Aside from being a healthy food, this cabbage, this also lowers the lectin level. Okay, number 5 will be, oh my gosh, I don't like mushrooms. Okay, like this, mushrooms. Okay, just eat these mushrooms. Okay, like that. Number 6, we have the probiotics food. I love this. Okay. Probiotics. What are those probiotic foods? Actually, in the market, we have probiotic supplements, but that is not my preferred one because it's costly, and I don't want to maintain that one also. If ever I don't have job anymore, how can I maintain that probiotic supplement? So I will go on the natural one. I could still buy not really natural, the commercially produced yogurt. Okay, the yogurt is a probiotics. Okay, why probiotics? Because it helps also in combination with vitamin C, okay, antibodies, and white blood cells to fight bacteria, viruses, okay, or any bad microorganisms that will enter to your immune health system. Okay, probiotics. Because in our microbiome family, inside our digestive system, we have a microbiomes. At least there are millions of microbiomes there, meaning good bacteria. And if you feed them food every time, that is probiotic for them. So yogurt, Yakult, like that, drink that or eat that every day, dili-dili alato, something like that. It's really advisable. Okay, yogurt. It's good also for weight loss program, just like me. Okay, when you work out, okay, exercise, and then really it's good. Okay, something like that. And also the prebiotic. If there's a probiotic, there's also a prebiotic. Okay. What's the difference? It's just the same, but this prebiotic is more on the liquid part, okay, of this substance, okay, something like that. Prebiotic and probiotics, okay. Okra, you know okra? Okra. And then we have also the flax seeds, okay. This contains more of the prebiotic substance, okay. So in this manner, it will help prevent, along with the antibodies, okay, vitamin C, antioxidants, white blood cells. This is the purpose to fight infectious diseases or pathogenic substances or any bacteria or viruses that will come inside our body. Okay, absolutely. If you know how to prevent, so there will be this COVID-19, even though you have no vaccine. Okay, so that's the natural way. Okay, because adding vaccine is not a natural way. That's cure, you know. We have the cure, we have the treatment, and we have the prevention. The prevention is a natural process. Meaning to say, you need to avoid only, and you need to choose what healthier foods and drinks to intake in your body. Okay, that's prevention. The cure and treatment, you need to maintain medicines, you need to maintain vitamins, you need to maintain supplements, you need to undergo laboratory tests, you need to undergo vaccination. Okay, just to avoid diseases coming from you. So we are more on the prevention. Okay, agree or not? So it's better to have prevention better than cure and treatment. Okay, vaccination is not prevention, as I told you earlier. Okay, it's not a guarantee 100% that somebody receives the vaccine. You could no longer develop a COVID-19. It's not. Okay, really, it's not. Okay, number 7. Okay, that's it. And other, etc. Okay, these are the foods that will reduce the level of lectin, like this. And these are the foods that increases the level of lectin. So very difficult, right? There's our contrary, like this, because this one would have health benefits, and then there's also a bad benefit. So sometimes it will confuse us. So how can we do this? So by reading, research, and taking down notes. Oh, what's the food I eat now? Something like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Okay.